Assalamu alaikum to all the beautiful listeners and viewers on Salam Media. Today is a very special day for me because today I'm not just your host, I'm a daughter. In 1980, when the streets of Soweto were burning, when Emdeni was filled with smoke, sirens, and fear, a young, newly married doctor chose to drive into that fire. His wife was expecting their first child, me, and he never told her how dangerous it really was, because he knew she would beg him not to go. He turned his small surgery into a sanctuary, treating bullet wounds, hiding young men when soldiers came in searching for them, driving them home at night so their mothers could sleep. He never charged a cent. He only saw humanity. From that little surgery, the first Shahada in Emdeni was taken. Madrasa classes began in garages, and 40 door became a masjid. I grew up calling him Dad, but today I get to introduce him as a man who chose courage over comfort, faith over fear, and service over safety. This year he turned 78 years old, and he still goes to work every single day, not because he has to, but because serving people is who he is. Please welcome to the show my father, Dr. Suliman Ismail. Assalamu alaikum, Dad.
Wa alaikum salam.
So, this is not something my dad would normally do. He's always behind the scenes, a very private man. And today I really forced him to come to studio, and we're really honored to have him here. So, what made you open a surgery in Soweto in 1980?
At first, I had a surgery in town, and my nurse, who was from Emdeni, told me to rather come into Soweto because there were no doctors there. And at that time, it was a taboo going into Soweto because we were all afraid of going into that area. This was the indoctrination by the whites telling us that the Swar Khafar don't go into black areas. But nevertheless, I decided to go with her into Soweto and have a look at the place, and I found that there were no other doctors around. And I decided to establish my practice there.
So, what gave you the courage to stay during the unrest?
When I looked at the poverty and the problems that the indigenous people were facing in Soweto, I decided this is where I'm going to be to help the oppressed people of the country.
And you once also mentioned that the ANC at the time.
The ANC at that time came to me and they said that there's going to be war in the townships and they needed a doctor, and I was the only doctor around. So I went home and I thought about it. I never told my wife a thing. And then I decided, no, I needed to go into the township as well and help the poor people, the oppressed people.
And what was it like driving through the townships in the 80s?
It wasn't very good, but I had to weave my way through burning tires, burning cars, rocks. But the people let me through because they were told by the ANC not to touch my car. So and the Almighty helped me through there.
I remember you telling us that your surgery was like a mini casualty unit and your car a mini ambulance. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, well, I used to treat the bullet wounds, and patients were coming in flocking into my surgery, and I had to treat them alone. And that was it. And what was the other question?
And in your car, I'm sure you also used to transport the
Oh,
wounded.
yes. At night, I used to when the soldiers came into my surgery, I had to hide the patients, and at night, I had to transport them back into their respective homes.
Okay, so we're going to break for an ad. And when we come back, we'll be chatting more about your township journey.
You are listening to Salam Media live from our headquarters in South Africa. This is Salam Media, keeping you company this Ramadan.
When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Al Bayt Lodge, your true home away from home. Al Bayt is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities. Conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities, your stay will be truly unforgettable, as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Al Bayt has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albaytlodge.co.za.
Many of us take an iftar meal for granted, but not everyone is as fortunate. This Ramadan, the Islamic Dawah movement will provide meals to thousands of Muslims from disadvantaged areas, as it has been doing for over 20 years, but they need your help. A donation of 30 Rand provides an iftar meal for a fasting person. Become an IDM sponsor and earn Sadaqah Jariyah. Zakat, Fitra, Kafara, and Fidya contributions are all welcome. Call IDM on 031 304 6883 or visit idmsa.org to donate. IDM, taking Islam to as many hearts and homes as possible.
Yasin Badat Financial Advisory. Are your financial goals feeling out of reach? Yasin Badat Financial Advisory is here to turn your aspirations into achievements. Our dedicated team, armed with a history of success, is ready to guide you through the complex nature of financial and investment planning. Whether you're a seasoned investor or new to the game, our personalized solutions cater to your unique goals and risk appetite. Trust in our commitment to transparency, integrity, and excellence. Ready to unlock a world of financial freedom? Partner with us today. Call Yasin Badat Financial Advisory at +27 33 346 2071 or visit www.yasinbadat.com. Yasin Badat Financial Advisory, guiding you to financial success.
With Ashraful Aid this Ramadan, your zakat changes lives. It feeds families facing hunger, restores dignity to those in need, and brings hope where it is needed most. From food relief to essential support, your zakah reaches communities with care, transparency, and impact. Give with confidence, give with trust. Make your zakah count this Ramadan. Give your zakah to Ashraful Aid and help change lives today.
Hey Gulam.
Yeah?
Did I return your lawnmower last month?
No, bhai, you didn't.
Oh no. Now what'll I do? I wanted to borrow it again, man.
With Randry Jewelers, you won't have to borrow or lend because the prices are so well trimmed on all gold and diamond jewelry. Alternatively, we could remake your old jewelry into a brilliant new design. Visit Randry Jewelers at 151 Stevens Lamini Road, Musgrave, Durban. Randry Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Elite Basmati, available throughout the Middle East, and now for the very first time exclusive to South Africa. Brought to you by Murchison Spice, Pietermaritzburg's most famous specialty store. Elite Basmati, available in aromatic white and golden cellar, is packaged in a world-class facility in India and is filled with wholesome goodness for your well-being. Elite Basmati rice by Murchison Spice. For trade inquiries, contact Mohammed on 033 387 2121. Murchison Spice.
You are listening to Salam Media live from our headquarters in South Africa. This is Salam Media, keeping you company this Ramadan.
Welcome back to the show. We are with my dad, Dr. Suliman Ismail, 78 years old and still serving. That's legacy in motion. There is not just a story, it's legacy. This is courage. This is tawakkul in action, serving humanity through faith and courage. So, can you tell me a little bit how was your experience like with the soldiers coming into your surgery at the time?
It was quite frightening, but through the help of Almighty Allah, I tried to do my best. And as I said, the comrades would come into the surgery, followed by the soldiers, but I would hide them, and at night I would take them back into their homes, respective homes.
You say the Boers tried to trap you. How did you actually fight that? And how did you survive?
Yeah, well, they were surprised at me being an Indian. I'm in the township, and what was I doing in the township? So many a times they tried to trap me. And at one stage, someone phoned me at 3 o'clock in the morning, asking me to come to a comrade was shot, asking me to take the comrade to, they were at Winnie Mandela's house. And I knew this was a trap at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I told them that, no, I don't know where Winnie Mandela lives. And they put the phone down. And another time, there were many so-called patients from the prisons writing me letters, coming in to try. They wanted help in the prisons. So I knew these were all traps set by the whites.
Okay, so these are some of the stories I've never heard before, and it's really so lovely to hear them. Getting to how did Islam begin in Emdeni?
Well, Islam was unheard of in Emdeni at that time. I had my nurse, whom we converted or who reverted into Islam, and a friend of mine was Abdul Hamid Poe, who had just qualified from Zakaria Park. He actually taught her and many others who came afterwards about Islam.
So from your surgery, you had classes.
And we started at my surgery on Saturdays, and afterwards we used garages and back rooms to further the cause of Islam.
I know that your dream was actually something that came true recently when, after 40 years, the bottle store was converted into a masjid. How do you feel about it? Was it an easy task?
No, in fact, many a times we tried to get plots to build a masjid, but somehow we couldn't get it. And after 40 years, and through the effort of my friends, Mr. Yahya, Jantjie, and Umar, we finally did get a plot, which bottle store. We bought it over, and we converted that into the masjid.
And how has the community grown in Emdeni, and what do you people do on a regular basis?
Well, as I said, we started off with about one or two reverts, but it has grown considerably, and we're having classes. We've got ustads, we have hufaz. Yahya Jantjie is one of the ustads there, and we have our regular classes there. Ramadan time, we have Seri Taraweeh and all the whatever we have to, we break our fast there in Ramadan.
Okay, so I know especially now is Ramadan and it's a really beautiful atmosphere in Emdeni with people coming for iftar, seri, madrasa classes. So the community is just buzzing which was never like that before. So, mashallah, it's a really beautiful atmosphere. And how do you sustain the institute?
We look, my family and friends, we normally donate to sustain this, to donate funds towards the upkeep of the madrasa and masjid. And we really appreciate that. And we would appreciate more funds.
So if anybody has zakat or lila, I will put the details up. Like we said, we depend on support from the community to make this institute a success. And there's been 2 questions from the viewers. One of them is, how did Dr. Ismail become a doctor during the apartheid era when it was really difficult for Indians to get into university at the time in South Africa?
Well, I passed my university entrance at that time, but the Boers wouldn't allow us to study there. The whites wanted the indigenous people, and me being one of them as well. They allowed us to become teachers and lawyers. That's about it. So I worked for about a year, got the money, and decided to leave the country, and I went to Egypt to study medicine there.
Okay, and can you give us a little background? One of the viewers wants to know where were you born and how did you grow up?
I was born in Johannesburg, to be more precise, Kliptown. And I grew up in a family of 12 children, and about 5 of them are doctors as well.
So my dad had, they are 10 brothers and 2 sisters, 5 of them being doctors. And I think your dad really did a wonderful job at the time. So what's your message to the youth, if you can advise them going forward, especially those that are pursuing a degree in medicine?
They should spend more time in the townships. Don't worry about amassing wealth. Do your best to treat especially the poorer people. They need us. And don't worry about driving big cars, and be compassionate, and don't ever chase any patient away if he hasn't got any money.
Okay, so that really resonates well. And you did not just open a surgery, you opened your heart and Allah did the rest. So there is something for all of us the younger generation to look to and get advice from. And this is a legacy that we hope they can all follow. So I've always called you Dad, but today I got to introduce you as a servant of humanity. I couldn't be prouder. From a small surgery in a burning township to a masjid filled with adhan, this is what happens when one man says yes to purpose. When you serve for the sake of Allah, your impact outlives you. May we all leave footprints of mercy wherever we go. Dad, thank you for building more than a practice, and thank you for building hope. And just a closing dua from my dad, especially now that it's Ramadan. We're just going to end off with a small dua before you go. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya Allah, you were there when the streets were burning. You were there when I drove through smoke and fear. You were there when bullets were flying, and you were there when young men were bleeding in my surgery. Ya Allah, if I was brave, it was because you held my heart steady. If I survived, it was because you shielded me. If I helped anyone, it was because you chose me to be a means. Ya Allah, I was only a young husband then. I was about to become a father. I did not know if I would return home some nights, but you returned me safely again and again. Ya Allah, accept every life that was saved on that little examination bed. accept every deed and everything that I did to protect someone inside. Except every night I drove through darkness so a mother could see her son again. Ya Allah, from a small surgery you built a community. From whispered lessons in garages you raised a masjid. From one shahada you created generations of Muslims in Emdeni. Ya Allah, Masjid al-Taqwa is not bricks and walls. It is tears, sacrifice, and 40 years of hope. Accept it from us. Ya Allah, forgive me where I fell short, forgive my fear, forgive my weakness, and write for my children and their children a legacy of service, courage, and faith. Ya Allah, when I stand before you one day, let people of that township be witness for me, not because I was great, but because you allowed me to serve. Grant our youth purpose, grant our country peace, and let our final breath be La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Ameen. Now we get break.
Across Sudan, starvation is tightening its grip. With rising food prices and widespread malnutrition, 8.7 million people are now facing emergency or famine-level hunger. As the conflict intensifies and aid routes narrow, families in Sudan are running out of options and time. The Al-Imdad Foundation is delivering life-saving humanitarian aid to those most at risk. Stand with Sudan. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and free zakat calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Many of us take an iftar meal for granted, but not everyone is as fortunate. This Ramadan, the Islamic Dawah movement will provide meals to thousands of Muslims from disadvantaged areas, as it has been doing for over 20 years, but they need your help. A donation of 30 Rand provides an iftar meal for a fasting person. Become an IDM sponsor and earn Sadaqah Jariyah. Zakat, Fitra, Kafara, and Fidya contributions are all welcome. Call IDM on 031 304 6883 or visit idmsa.org to donate. IDM, taking Islam to as many hearts and homes as possible.
The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Use the black seed, for indeed it is a cure for every disease except death." This Ramadan, honor that guidance. Tip black.
A monthly food hamper for 1,900 Rand, or feed a community for 20,000 Rand per day. From Gaza to Mozambique to Syria and more, every meal creates a connection between human hearts and the divine. This Ramadan, nourish bodies and reconnect souls with Africa Muslims Agency.
You are listening to Salam Media live from our headquarters in South Africa. This is Salam Media, keeping you company this Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to all our viewers and listeners on Salam Media. We were talking of decades in the township with Dr. Suliman Ismail, and now we are absolutely honored to have Hafiz Yahya a teacher at Emdeni Muslim Association. And just a little bit, I'm just going to give a little brief story about Hafiz Yahya that touched me personally. So, from the pulpit to the musalla, a journey of mercy, the story of Hafiz Yahya. There was once a young boy, a boy preparing to stand on a pulpit, a boy studying to become a pastor, a boy searching for God with sincerity in his heart. My father knew him then. Before the Quran echoed from his lips, before the name Hafiz preceded his name, he was searching and Allah was guiding, not through noise, not through force, but through mercy. Questions began to stir in his heart, verses began to soften his soul, and what started as curiosity became conviction. The same young man who was preparing sermons would one day stand in sujood. The one who thought he would preach from the Bible would one day memorize the entire Quran, subhanallah. Through the guidance and mentorship of Dr. Suliman Ismail and a few others, his roots in Islam were nurtured. He was not just welcomed into a religion, he was embraced into a family. And today, in the heart of Soweto, within the blessed soil of the Emdeni Muslim community, he is not just a revert, he is a leader, a teacher, a preserver of the Quran, a symbol of Allah's mercy, because guidance is not about where you start, it's about who calls you. And Allah called him. Today, we don't just hear a story of conversion, we witness a story of divine love, of a heart chosen, of a destiny rewritten. Hafiz Yahya, tell us about the journey that changed your life.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to the listeners and everyone. May Allah accept your Ramadan. It's the greatest ni'mah we've ever found ourselves in this month. Well, I grew up in a staunch Roman Catholic church members, and I also served in a Roman Catholic church as an altar service boy, and I was baptized in the Roman Catholic Church, and I received the sacrament in the Roman Catholic Church. As I've alluded that I grew up in a very staunch Roman Catholic Church. But however, when the seed of Iman or the seed of Islam is in a person's heart, I always felt that I need to serve one Allah. I don't forget this moment in my life where I was in a remote area of Lesotho, where there is a statue of Mary in every corner of the village called Sifika. And I remember my aunt, my mom's younger sister, taking me to the statue. It was time for exams, and because of this witchcraft and all these things and seeking lucks, we had to go to the statue. Number one, the black consciousness that the statue was a white lady in a remote area of Lesotho. It caused some rift in my, because we were very conscientized in African traditions. So I did not really appreciate that the statue was a white lady in white long garments. That why wasn't she black anyway? And I always had a reserve comment in my heart that, but why if must we go in front of the statue to ask for blessings? This did not gel down well with me, although I grew up in that environment. And one day my aunt took me here to go and seek luck for exams and blessings, but I just couldn't. I said, no, I can't. And I got hell of a beating from her that I'm becoming an arrogant child. I said, but I cannot bow and I cannot kneel in front of a statue. And I always had this concept that it's a foreign religion imposed on us. So I did. So it was also a bit politically, even becoming a Muslim, it was politically for me. So, and I grew up in Lesotho. My mom sent me to Lesotho because of trying to get rid of, trying to protect me from crime and so forth, because South Africa was rife at that time. So my mother wanted to save me. And in Lesotho, every family has a pig. So you find a lot of pigs in Lesotho. In winter, they slaughter pigs. And to be honest, not a bite or of pig could go down my throat. And my family was very concerned. It's like a feast. People are happy that we have slaughtered, but I could not swallow a morsel of pig. I only realized when I became a Muslim that that's why I could not eat pig. And they would say, there's a portion in the pig that is consumed mainly by elderly people. That is one by the thigh. They said, okay, maybe give him, it's called tutu. They said, give him some tutu, maybe he will eat it. That also could not go down. I've never had pork. And coming back to South Africa now, I'm a very religious person. I go to church every Sunday. And now there isn't a Roman Catholic church around me, so I go to some other church around the corner. And now the people are very happy that this man is very powerful, very gifted. We need to anoint him as a pastor. And now my older brother had become a Muslim already. He was a PAC member, so he got the influence from his friends. And they were speaking Azania and African consciousness, and Islam is for Africans and all those things. And I was very anti, because remember now I was being trained as a pastor, and we will debate. And I remember once asking him that, but why does your religion say there is no God but Allah? You guys are worshipping the devil. How can you have no God but you have Allah? He's a very smart guy. So he explained that, no, look at number one, look at the writing there. The God is in a small is in a small alphabet. So it means gods. Allah is actually the Almighty. And we debated. I remember he would try to perform salah at home and I will play my music high. We grew up in a shibin anyway, a tavern. But alhamdulillah, I don't know a sip of alcohol up to date. When Allah, the seed of Iman is there, Allah will always protect you. Now he's trying to perform salah. I'm playing my music loud. I'm against Islam. I was very robust towards Islam, that you want to become an Indian and so forth. And one day he said, you know what? I know you always searching and reading the Bible every day. You're searching for God. Here's a piece of Muhammad's book. Read about Prophet Muhammad. I read about Prophet Muhammad. I said, is this an angel or a human being? He said, this is a human being. He's a prophet of Allah. I was touched. I said, I would love to meet Muslims. And I remember when we went to, I told my mother, we're going to go with my brother, I'm going to meet Muslims. And my mother liked fashion. So we were wearing big t-shirts, like American, because Pastor Rhymes used to wear it. So I was wearing one written 55. My brother was wearing one written 99. And we're bouncing to the mosque now. And my brother on the way says, if my brother can become a Muslim, it will be the greatest achievement ever, even if the Almighty doesn't give me anything. So he's saying this to the mosque. Now, when I got into the mosque, there was a Jamaat there, Tabligh Jamaat. And then I saw these guys with huge amamas, long beards. Immediately something came into me as an inspiration that this is how Jesus looked. Look around all the people that they claim to be believers. This is not how they look. And they were wearing white. And I always make dua for those brothers, because when I saw them, my heart just became soft when looking at these white kurtas and looking at these white amamas and their big beard. And they welcomed me. The first thing they said, Here's some snacks for you. Then we had snacks. And the Amir of the Jamaat says, do you go to church? I said, yes, I'm a Christian. I only came here to observe. The Amir says, Allah chose you. Not every human being comes in contact with Muslims to search and comes in a mosque and sit like this. But what is it that you want to search? I said, I only want a religion that worships one God, and I don't find it. And in Christianity, they speak about the Trinity, and they would still rely on ancestors while being Christians. I just want God. Said, well, you're in the right place. In Islam, we only worship Allah and we associate Him with no partners. And we praise Allah every day. You see, our reason and our purpose of coming here, it is to tell others about Allah and link them to Allah. And on that day, in a small little Jamaat Khana in Orange Farm, I became a Muslim there.
Mashallah.
And I saw my brother crying. I thought there was something wrong. I said, what's wrong? He said, I'm so happy that Allah has chosen one person from my family that can be a Muslim with me. This is the greatest choice you've ever made.
Mashallah, that's such an inspiring story. And can you tell us about your relationship with Dr. Ismail and what role did it play in your journey? Also, what lessons did you learn and how important is it to mentor with someone when reverting to Islam?
Oh, well, Alhamdulillah, I'm actually shocked that Dr. Ismail is here because he wouldn't love when he does something, he does it with his heart. But let me just skip this because I might miss this. In the year 2001, Dr. Ismail called me in the early hours of the morning. He said, Yahya, do you want a car? Now listen to this, the value of the car. And I'm not talking of a car that was a scrap that would, I'm talking of a decent car. It was a Sentra. He says, hey, Yahya, the Almighty has answered your doors. Would you love to have a car? I said, Doc, you're talking about a car when I don't even have 100 rands in my pocket. He said, well, come home. He's just moved from Silk Crescent in Indonesia to Houghton. He said, okay, come home. When I came, he presented me. So I never forget this, that my own father couldn't give me a car, but he called me that one morning. He said, come and take it. It was like a dream. I took a taxi to Houghton, and I came back driving a car. Now, this can only be from a person who's selfless, whose interest is to change people's lives. Well, I was shocked that do I own a car from not having anything? I realized that this is not just the car, but this is Allah talking to me, because my Hajj was the same thing. I'm working and saving a little bit. I want to go for Hajj. I want to go for Hajj and saving. And someone calls me, a black guy, says, do you want to go for Hajj? I said, I'm saving. I really want to go for Hajj. He says, look, bring your passport. You're going this year. Your name is chosen. Then I realized that this is from Allah. But I met Dr. Ismail after I have been to Madrasa, Mia's Farm, and so forth. So I was a little educated now in Islam, and but I didn't know there was Dr. Ismail in Emdeni. And people were talking about Dr. Ismail. Hey, you also become a Muslim. You must go and meet your friend there. He's buying all the people into Islam and all this. I said, but who's this? They say it's Dr. Ismail. How come you don't know Dr. Ismail? I say, no, I don't know Dr. Ismail. And they said, okay, he has a surgery at Komloi Shopping Center. You must go and meet him. So I was like shocked. Is there a Muslim a doctor in Emdeni? So I went, but I was a bit shy, meeting a doctor. I said, what am I going to say? So I went to the surgery. I stood by the door and I said, no, let me not meet him. I only met him 2 years later because I was like, how do a layman like me go and meet a doctor? What do I say? And so there was a little madrasa at my aunt's house. So this madrasa had teachers that will come and leave. And then I came, so I was doing it for free, and it was consistent. So the doctor was sending sandwiches there every day for the madrasa children, and I got to teach when the madrasa was already moved from his surgery. It was at my aunt's house, Halima. So I'm teaching there, no salary. It's out of love because we've got this just by the desire that I must transfer the Islamic knowledge without boundaries. So I'm doing it for free. Now, the doctor that I was shy to meet, because I'm a layman, a Quran student meeting a doctor, and Dr. Ismail comes. He say, "Who's teaching here?" I say, "I'm Yahya." "Are you Dr. Ismail?" "Yes. People have been telling me about you, and I see every day you send sandwiches here. There was a driver coming to drop sandwiches, Steve. Every day you send sandwiches here, and I don't even know you." He says, "Well, you are doing a good job. I've been always looking for a teacher to teach because guys come and go. Can you do it?" I said, "No, of course, Doc, I'll do it. But the only challenge is I'm still a student at Darul Zakaria. I'm doing my hifz there." He said, "Well, when you come, just get involved. I got, okay. Now I got to meet Dr. Ismail. I'm meeting the doctor, and I see a humble man that doesn't even act like a doctor, because if I met an African doctor, he will want to show that I'm an intellectual, I'm not an ordinary person. Now I go to his surgery. He says, "Oh, yeah, here's my sandwich. Let's share." Now I'm like, what kind of a doctor is this? Now he's sharing his sandwich with me. And then we developed a working relationship. When I tell my daughter that, when I started working for the madrasa, I was earning 250 rands. He says, "What?" I says, "Yes." And now he says, "Okay, for Juma, I go to Lens. Sometimes I go to Dlamini. Would you like to join us?" I say, "Of course, I would like to join you." Now he was driving a red Mercedes then. Was it red? Yes, yeah. Or maroon, something. Red. Yeah. Now I come to his surgery. I find 20 guys. Now this is the miracle of Allah. I find 20 guys waiting to jump in this car. And now I'm excited. I'm meeting black Muslims for first time. "Are you also a Muslim?" "Yes." Someone is hiding his kurta. He doesn't want to be seen. He's hiding it in a plastic but he's waiting to. "So where's your kurta?" "No, he's here because my friends laugh at me and all this. So it's in here." So we're still youngsters. "So no, wear it, man. It's your choice. Wear it. What do you care about people?" And I say, "Now, how are we all going to Dlamini?" Says, "No, the doctor will take us. But in this small car, I'm telling you, we all fit in that car." And when we arrived at the mosque, about 15, 20 guys jumping. Even the front seat has got two guys sitting there. So his car is used. In my mind, I'm asking myself, what kind of a doctor is this? A Mercedes-Benz with a whole lot of these guys cramped up in the car. And sometimes it's okay, look, can you drive? No, we can't drive. Okay, let me go and drop the first group. I'll come and fetch another group. This was the working relationship. He goes to learn same thing. Now, when he gets into Lens, see, these Indian guys are looking at him. They do, what this guy is doing with these black guys? And he just offloads them and he goes back and he fetch others and he comes back. Then I realized that this is the man of Allah. you know. And whenever we're sitting, we're planning, how can we have a masjid here? How can we strengthen our madrasa? And most of his time was spent in Soweto. At that same Mercedes, one day there's a Muslim lady became a Muslim, and the child died. Her child died. Now that car was used as a hearse.
Sure.
He transported the body to Lens for Rusal and back into Soweto. And I'm asking myself, what kind of a doctor is this? It's 8 p.m. at night. Now he's driving back with the body of a dead baby in the car to leave it there, you know. And we expect this to be done by ulama. And he's an intellectual, he's a doctor, but the love of Islam. And I'm asking myself, where is he taking this from? Then as time goes, he tells me that, I said, no, doc, this must be from somewhere. It cannot fall from a tree. I've never seen a doctor. I've met other Muslim doctors, but they are not as dedicated as you are. You are like more of an alim doing an alim's work, and all this you do alone. You know, his surgery, people lining up there, taking medication for free. In fact, a week ago, I met a lady that said the only doctor that will give you medication for free is Dr. Ismail. And the only doctor that will give you a medication and still treat you for credit is Dr. Ismail. You can go throughout Soweto. There's no doctor that you'll find that will treat you. A non-Muslim lady says, hey, this man, I don't know what has gone into his heart. Anyway, now, as time goes, he tells me that, you know, my great-grandfather was a big Buzruk. I say, who's this? He says, Sufi Nana. He says, yeah, that man, you must listen to his stories. I say, I told you that this does not, it's an inheritance. Someone must have done a lot of good in your family. So you inherited this from him. And now, another shocking moment that or incident that Dr. Ismail did, it was just...
Yeah, I think we're running a little bit out of time.
Yes.
I think we can go on for episodes and episodes with our interview.
Yes.
But I just wanted to know, what message do you have for Dr. Ismail personally to thank him?
Honestly speaking, the work that the old man has done, only Allah can do justice. As a professional doctor, I cannot pay him, or my praises are very crippled to actually reward him.
It's very emotional.
He has outdone even ulama. Doc, I say this from the bottom of my heart. May Allah reward you. I love Islam. May Allah reward you. No human being can do. You know, to serve Islam, it's voluntary, and he did it. We all serve Islam voluntarily against all odds, and he did it. May his ajr be with Allah.
Amen.
No human being can do justice.
Amen.
Even if I come with 100 million rands to give him, I know he would not appreciate it. He has shown us that money comes and goes. I have seen people lining up in Soweto to take medication for free. His staff taking medication for free. All ladies taking medication for free. And he has never complained. Up to today, I'm a grown up. I can afford to buy medication. But I know if I go, with all the hiccups we have, if I go to his surgery and I say, Doc, I'm sick, he will definitely say, Yahya, take medication. So I say even non-Muslims can attest to this, that he is a man of Allah.
Amen. May Allah accept, inshallah. Like we said, he wouldn't like to be here today, but it was a momentous occasion, and we invited him as well as yourself, and we're really honored to have both of you today to give your stories. Even though it's just the gist of it, we can go on so much more. And you also, Hafiz Yahya, have so much to offer our Emdeni community. And we truly appreciate everything from the bottom of our heart and the role you play daily. May Allah reward you abundantly in
Amen.
this world and the year after. Take the Emdeni Muslim Association from strength to strength, and may it carry on for generations and generations to come. And may this legacy continue, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Amen. We're going to stop for an ad break, inshallah.